Please help support independent journalism like me. If you can afford it, please donate $20. PayPal.me/Shakaama. I'm not doxing myself, but I do live in Las Vegas, and I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff concerning Las Vegas that probably the country doesn't even know is going on and has been going on. Now, some of you might call me naive, or some of you might call me crazy that I don't know what I'm talking about or something like that. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you actually Google the title of this video, you will see that there are pages and pages of Google pages that will confirm exactly what I'm going to talk about today. This is concerning the Corona stimulus check. The IRS is counting on poor people not knowing. This isn't conjecture. This isn't conspiracy. This is actually people are coming against the IRS knowingly doing this. In the statement, the IRS put out a list of people who will not be eligible for the coronavirus stimulus check, and it is causing some people to cry foul. While the top 20% of earners will not receive checks, even if they've been laid off, and they come in at 4 different levels of you will not receive checks on their list of people who will not receive stimulus checks. The IRS also put out a statement saying that the bottom poor, who are so poor that they don't qualify to even file income taxes, those are people who make about $12,000 a year, will also not receive coronavirus stimulus checks unless they, and here's a list, number 1, log in to irs.gov. Folks, that's problematic all by itself. Number 2, go to the non-filer portal. See number 1 for problems concerning that. Number 3, provide banking information. That's problematic by itself, all by itself too. Number 4, provide address information. That's problematic all by itself too. And here's the big thing. They still have to qualify, which there's a long internal list of disqualifications that they're keeping secret, but said must qualify. Do you hear me? They made sure they put that language in their list. They said even after they've done all of that, they still must qualify. So the person makes $12,000 or less in a year and still must qualify. For most of us, we think that the $12,000 a year is the qualification. Am I right? Can I get an amen? This means the people that need it the most will most often not receive the checks, which the left is, of course, blaming President Trump for. Let me point out that it was the Senate Republicans and House Republicans who got this bill passed. Let me reiterate, the left in Congress rejected this entire bill, not once, not twice, but 3 times on 3 separate occasions. Technically, it was way more than 3. If you count every time they said no, it was way more than 3. But officially, it was 3 separate instances that they said no and rejected it. Now, think about this. Over 60% of Americans do not own a computer, and about 40% of Americans do not have regular access to the internet. I know this might be shocking for all of you, even you on your phones actually watching this and listening to this, but over 40% of Americans do not have access, regular use of the internet at all, are not connected in any shape, form, or fashion. Think about this. Even before the internet, the height of television, still only 40% of Americans owned a TV. While we in the big cities might think that, it's commonplace, even in the big cities, still 40% of Americans had a TV. 60% of Americans have regular use of the internet. That means regular use. That means probably it's more like 80% of Americans do not regularly use on a daily basis the internet. People have to go somewhere to use the internet or borrow it from somebody else. It is not universal. I know people think that it's universal, but it's not. Read over those four things again. You see any problems? Do you know people who do not have a bank account? I do. Do you know people who live somewhere but don't technically have an official address? I do. They're not homeless. They just are living somewhere in someone's room or guest house or something, and they don't have an official address. For instance, and here's my spiel about Las Vegas. So if you want to know something about Las Vegas, this might apply to other cities. I don't know about other cities. I know about Las Vegas. Since the Obama era, there are still people that never recovered from the housing crisis, and there is still a shadow inventory to prop up the real estate costs to pre-Obama levels, such that people can't afford houses. Now, what does this mean? Real estate in Nevada got outrageously high compared to salaries, actual salaries, and the banks and realtors inflated it because Californians came and were buying houses sight unseen. They were buying beat up houses for $500,000, 3-bedroom. In Las Vegas, that's outrageous. The housing market crash happened, and that should have meant that the housing prices should have gone down. And there should have been hundreds of thousands of houses that were foreclosed on, flooding the market to reduce the prices even more. It never happened. Banks foreclosed on houses and removed them from the records, keeping them off the market, so that it appeared as if housing was rare instead of overstocked. This steadily jacked up the prices to pre-Obama era prices. So as the rest of the country was recovering and the prices went up in Las Vegas, it was not reflected by the Las Vegas economy at all. We weren't having a boom. Remember, the second term of Obama, we were not having a boom. We were not having elevated income levels, elevated salaries. Didn't happen. But the housing prices had recovered all the way up to pre-Obama era prices. This steadily jacked up the prices to pre-Obama era prices, so housing in Las Vegas never got a correction from the housing market crash. So people with medium incomes have never been able to recover. Now add on top of all of that mess to the rental market inflation. So that rent's going, quote unquote, too damn high. So you remember that guy talking about the rent is too damn high? So you have a huge segment of the population here in Las Vegas that has to make inventive ways to have a roof over their head. Entire families. Not just some guy, not just some college kid, actual people with families trying to make not just ends meet, but put a roof over everybody's head. I'm not going to talk about, but Las Vegas is also the capital of under the table workers. I'm not even going to get into that. And no, it has nothing to do with anybody who is illegal or undocumented or anything like that. Finally, if you Google my title of this video, you will see entire pages and pages of articles saying that the IRS has always made sure that they punished the poor people and were out of reach for poor people. And this isn't something new from the IRS. Please leave a comment. If you have reached this point in the video, please leave a comment saying, this isn't new for the IRS. Thank you. Please subscribe. I don't know why. The channel should be getting like 1,000 subscriptions every month, but that stopped all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. And I do have to give you an apology. I rant and rave on my actual channel on my community page. Coming to find out that YouTube has done something through their programming, in that in the premiering of the channel, you know those premieres where I release the video and I'm sitting there and it kind of looks like a live stream and I'm chatting in the chat. That's called YouTube Premiere. Well, that is on a completely separate computer outside the system of YouTube. When the premiere is over, then the video is counted on YouTube's regular platform. It's not even a part of the platform, the YouTube premiere. So that all of that time, all of the views under the YouTube premiere are not counted. I was wondering what has been going on. So I have 6 months of YouTube premieres, and when it comes out of the premiere, it counts the time that the actual video is released and downgrades it because that time is showing 0 views for an hour, 2 hours. So I have this ongoing calculation of the level of the success of my videos, and they're steadily going down and down and down and down and down. Now, you could say that's my fault for being stupid for doing the YouTube premiere, but I didn't know about all the ins and outs of YouTube premieres. Other YouTubers have started to speak out against the YouTube premiere. So, you will no longer see a YouTube premiere on my channel. You'll either see a full-on live stream, which is also outside of their regular platform, or you'll see the regular platform videos released at whatever time they're released. Thank you for your patience. Now, I shouldn't have to apologize for that, but I'm apologizing for ranting and raving and thinking that my audience is terrible. When in fact, of course, at the end of the day, it's YouTube that was terrible. It's just we YouTubers are bashing our head against a mega monster that just does everything that it possibly can to mess over the very people that made the platform a success. We YouTubers, not the media, not CNN, not Fox News. They didn't make this platform successful, and in fact, they are leeching off of the actual YouTubers. Thank you all for watching.